Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Night Live with your 15 Minutes of Murder crew. It is one half of hosting myself, Tanisha Slater, along with Craig Chapman and our resident crime experts.
Desiree Edwards, people.
Boom. So, this week we're just checking in like we always do. Not much going on. We just dropped a good case. The Suitland murders. We hope you, what in the world?
Sorry, that was my phone. Sorry,
Son of a Jiminy Cricket.
I'm interrupting y'all. Go on.
Uh, Hi, welcome to the live.
Live. And that's what happens when you're live.
I'm live from San Francisco today because I just, thought I needed a little bit of a vacation from the vacation. So here we are. And
Okay.
everybody else is Detroit and Florida, but they're already in just vacation spots.
Yeah,
Detroit?
I'm heading into vacation in my head because it's my birthday next week. So I have already started shutting down and telling people to catch up with me the week of the 23rd. So
Heard that. Don't be checking in next week. Don't be ringing.
mhm, mm-mm.
DND.
Nope,
We on
nope.
do not
I'm
disturb.
already thinking about like, dang, when is the perfect time to send out my, those away messages
Uh,
with your email. Oh, I can't wait. I haven't done one of those in so long. So
Me either.
yeah, it's gonna feel real good to do one of those. I'm gone, y'all, and
Mm.
I ain't gonna be nowhere but in my house with my dog, but that's where I need to be.
Hey, sometimes the vacation is the couch.
Is the couch. Yep.
It's some
Yep.
Netflix. It's some chill. You know.
So I'm excited.
That's exciting. What about you, Craig? What you been up to?
Just my usual day job stuff. I live in Florida, so everyone thinks it's a permanent
Yep.
vacation
Yup.
down
Don't
here,
front.
but
The
you
T
know,
not even hold you up. She said, yup, it is.
Yep.
Quit playing, Craig.
He
they
be, he
tell
be, he'll be like on the job, and he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna send you this quick shot of the beach real quick." I'm like,
Oh
it's
yeah, or this road that I'm driving up the inland of the,
"Yeah,
it's
right."
ocean on each side of me. It's just a strip of
He's like,
road.
"No, no, no, it's not a bridge. It's just a strip of land with water on
Yeah.
both sides."
yeah, yeah,
Vacation
that's
every
not
day.
normal.
That is, oh, I'd give anything. Yesterday, I actually went to the waterfront. I was trying to act like a Floridian, and I went to the waterfront to clear my mind, see some water. It
Y'all
was
have beach,
nice.
y'all have beaches in New Jersey. Well, I like the beach in New Jersey.
It's not the same. Okay, I have a special beach. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is because then it wouldn't be
Oh,
special. But we gotta drive. Unless you live down the beach, I'm about 30 minutes from the first beach, which is not the greatest.
oh,
But it's water. But 45 minutes from the good stuff. You
Yep,
got beaches out there in Detroit.
we have beaches everywhere. We're the state of the Great Lakes. Remember,
That's
we got
right.
yeah, we have water all around us, and aside from the Great Lakes, we have like rivers and other lakes that are not the Great Lakes. Yeah, we are always
Well,
around.
what's my hassle? I'm about to hop a
Mm-hmm.
plane. I don't like to go
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
inland or anywhere because I'm a water baby, so I need water or I'm
That's
not
Oh
happy.
no.
So yeah,
No, if you're in Detroit, if you live in Michigan and you don't have access to jet skis and boats and all that kind of stuff, you're not one of the cool kids. Like
do I
everybody
have to,
has that stuff here.
do I have to fly west
You
and
got to
leave the
come.
coop, leave New Jersey?
I
That is one of the Michigan hidden secrets. But yes, we are full of waterways. We absolutely are. We
You,
absolutely are.
you know what? It's really silly of me because where did I fly from? I don't know. I was on a plane. I was coming from somewhere. Dang, I don't even know where I was coming from.
That was Vegas, and you flew
Right,
over, and you were
right,
like,
yep. And I was flying over, and there's just like a big body of water, and I was just looking down there
yeah,
like, "What's that?"
yes,
And
yep.
duh,
Mm-hmm.
New
In
York
in
City.
Michigan, they say we look like the mitten, and so this top part is a peninsula, and it's surrounded by water on all sides.
Okay.
And even the mitten part of Michigan is surrounded by water on all sides. And then in between here, there are other rivers and lakes and all that kind of stuff, pond, all that kind of stuff,
All the water.
all the
Um,
water.
Oh. And then
Ju-
y'all right
uh,
up there. Canada's like a hop, skip, and a jump. Niagara's like,
Canada is right across the street. Yes, it's like literally. It
all right,
might it
man.
might be maybe, I don't know, maybe a 10-15 minute drive across the bridge, if that. It's
All right
right
for this
there.
lesson. All right for this lesson. I just got schools. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Mm-hmm.
advocating from day one for us to go to
We
Detroit.
know.
We
We
know,
know.
Craig. You don't have to say it again, Craig. You're coming to Detroit, Craig. Yes,
Yeah,
we'll
maybe
get you here.
spring, early summer. Maybe we could
Mm-hmm.
do
We'll get you here.
a in-person live. That would be nice.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice.
Yes.
Our audience
And
may
then
want us to
we could
stay.
stream live from Detroit's favorite place, which is Belle Isle.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look
doesn't
it
it just
up.
sound fancy?
It is, well, what it used to be is way, way back in the day, like the wealthy people used to vacation on it. It's a park, and it's literally an island that sits in the middle of the Detroit River. And yes,
You could
at
go
one point there was like a casino and the zoo. It was all kind of
there
stuff.
no
There
more.
there is a
Mhm.
like little inlets where you could do like the kayak, what is it, kayaking and all
Yeah.
of
I'm
that
so
kind of
jealous.
stuff. It is, we have like a there's an aquarium, we have a indoor like nature zoo on Belle Isle. There is, what you call that thing, where conservatory,
Oh yeah,
where
conservatory.
you
Mhm.
go in and it's like plants and flowers and
Like you have botanical gardens.
basically, yeah, like that.
Ooh, my
Mm-hmm.
allergies probably won't like that, but I will.
We'll get you some Claritin.
Yay, yay. Face mask,
Mm-hmm.
something. I don't know. Oh
Yeah,
my
we'll
God.
get you
I
some
cannot
Claritin. Yeah,
wait. I can't
yeah.
wait for the spring, for the summer. Like, I really seriously do get like seasonal depression in the winter because I'm not a child anymore. So I can't go sledding and
Mm-hmm.
have fun in this stuff. And you got an adult in this stuff. But now that it's gone and it was like 70 something degrees yesterday, that's why I was at the water with some like culottes on and a t-shirt,
Mm.
living
Mhm.
my best life, watching all the puppies walk by the water. Ah, now I'm
Um,
happy.
Living life. And
yeah.
hence our San Francisco background, because you're still in that place
I'm
in your
still in
head.
that place. I'm still in that
Mm-hmm.
place. But real
Uh,
talk, y'all, I'm a caregiver, so I've been doing caregiver duties and I'm still out and about. So I got to go to San Francisco in my mind. We
Take
can't
it
miss
till
a
you make
live
it,
though.
T.
Exactly. We're not gonna miss a live though, even though I tried, y'all. But the team was like, uh-uh.
no, no.
The team was
No.
like, uh-uh.
Kirsten
So,
at home says she's on vacation on her couch.
yes,
See?
yes. Kirsten is a nursing student and she is on her spring break this week. So
Yeah,
thank you
like
for joining us.
no, really, I think people really underestimate the value of a staycation. Like, we get in our heads of where like, oh, I gotta go on the plane and I gotta go here. Because let's keep it real. Like, I can go wherever on this planet I want to go, right? I
Mhm.
can do that. I could take the time, I could budget the money, I got the passport. But the effort to do that, to do those things, traveling is so strenuous, right? And then me coming off of constantly being on the road for work, like, I value my home and my
Yeah,
space more than any place. And then, y'all, we don't even want to talk about what's going on politically, right?
right.
So, no, I'm gonna stay on my couch.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
crazy. And you deal with a lot of heavy stuff anyway. And then you go
Mm-hmm.
from the heavy stuff to now you got to be planning and you got to make it here, make
Yeah,
it there, and book this and book that. And it's like,
yeah,
man,
no,
I
yeah.
always
So,
say I need a vacation from the vacation because you always need a vacation.
absolutely.
Vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. You need a vacation to start the vacation, because like I said, when
Yep.
I vacation, I don't want to go into my vacation stress,
Yeah.
because right?
Yep.
Because I done spent the first 1 or 2 days on the vacation trying to unwind. So
Mhm.
no, me and
Yeah.
Kristen, we right here. Hey, twin.
Ha. It's like
Yeah,
day two, it's like too much. Vacations are highly overrated.
yeah, I agree.
Unless I'm pretty sure you'd say unless it's Cardi B or unless somebody else is doing all the planning and all you got to do is show up and look pretty.
Or from Craig, unless he's coming to Detroit to hang
Right.
out with me. Yeah,
Right.
that's that's different.
Yeah. So,
Ian says hi, everyone.
hey,
Hey,
Ian.
Ian.
So
What
I
Ian
did.
got up?
Oh yeah. Well, he just got a hey. What's going on?
What's up?
What's up? I did. Speaking, we just kind of been like, cutting it up a little bit, but I did watch a documentary, which yesterday actually I saw it over the weekend, and I wanted to and I wanted to ask the team if they wanted to watch it, and I think Des, you said you had already seen it,
Yeah,
and it was called Staten Island. It's on Netflix.
it's Strong Island.
Strong Island. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Staten Island.
Well, you said Staten Island, but I think Strong Island is what like Wu-Tang and Busta Rhymes and everybody else call. I think that's what they
Long
call it.
Island
No,
is.
Strong Island is Long Island.
Ooh, you know what? We could all just cut the feed right now and all go back to sleep.
Thank you, Craig. But see, that's
Sure.
the New Yorker in Craig setting us straight.
Ooh, that
See,
was fun.
Craig said, "Don't play with home. Don't play with home."
You ain't gonna play in my face about no Long Island.
No, Craig.
But
Craig cut into it.
aside from being silly, um, this was nominated, Craig, right?
It came out in 2017. It was Oscar nominated that year, and it was made by Yancey Williams, I think is his last name. And
Lance Williams. Yeah.
it's a story about um his older brother who was murdered.
Yeah, and basically what had attracted me to this is because I was Netflix and chilling while I was finishing up the Suitland case, and what I was watching went off, and you know how they do the, up next, and this popped up, and I was like,
Hmm.
wow, the teaser for it. I was just like, oh my God, this is Suitland. It's basically like a mom. It starts off with the mom sitting there and saying, I want to know what happened to my son. Like, and basically, they're saying that my son is responsible for his murder. And so then that got me curious. And I'm like, what in the world happened? And basically, this documentary is going on the journey of who he was and what happened and what led up to his life being taken, and it was so beautifully done. um it was
Amazing.
it was
Yeah.
eerie, and it rested, like it was, it lingered. There were moments where you were watching whoever was talking, and they allowed that process of thought to happen in silence, and you could feel yourself slow down and give this young man respect as you're watching the story of his life.
Mm-hmm.
There were
I,
I was reading about the way they shot this film because
Mhm.
I came up with the same thing. They would show a shot of like a garage and just hold it, and you
Yeah.
could just hear the silence for a few minutes. You're like,
Mhm.
okay, aren't they gonna move on to the next thing? But no, like intentionally quiet, intentionally focusing like on this part of the face
Yeah.
as they're doing
mm-hmm.
the interviews. So it is uncomfortable. It's somebody in your
Mhm.
face.
Yeah,
You can't look away from
Yeah.
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I especially like the use of the pictures. To set up the story and tell the story, and then how like you could see Yance or whoever hands they were set the pictures, and then they
Yeah.
shuffle the pictures away, um because that helps give that human side, that
Yeah.
emotion to what this family is, because now that looks just like us. No matter who you are, no matter what you are, you have pictures with your mom, your dad, your somebody in front of the family vehicle. You have pictures with your family somewhere on vacation, and it shows like how we all have many of the same shared and lived experiences.
Yeah.
And essentially, this story could be yours. And then now you see these pictures, here go the story.
Yeah. And
Deal with it.
that was really powerful, seeing the hands putting up the photos, because it's one thing when you have an editor pop up a photo. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, there's a photo. There's this, I'm supposed to look at this. But when somebody slides a photo up and leaves it there and holds it, that's like them welcoming you to look at what
Mm-hmm.
look at what I lost, look at
Yeah.
what it was. And when I tell you, like, this family, we all go through things, we all experience loss, every single one of us will. Um, but the amount of tragedy
Mm-hmm.
that this family went through time after time. I mean, they lose their brother. Shortly after that, the father suffers a stroke. Is it a
Yes.
stroke or a heart attack that left him paralyzed on one side? That's caretaking. Mom's now lost her son, but now has to go into caretaking mode for the children, and also
But even before we got there, the trauma of the family
oh
having
yeah, the
to
history of
grieve. Yeah, and the toll that it took on their relationships as individuals, but
yeah,
also as a family unit. So then as they were dealing with those things, then the health issues
yeah,
came about. And it leaves you to wonder, would those health issues had even come about had they not had such grievous
right,
um the loss of their son. Because Craig, right before we started, Craig and I were talking about that mind body soul connection. And I will be willing to bet that had dad not lost his son, dad may not have had that stroke
yeah,
or that heart attack, at least not then. And
yeah,
if mom had not lost her son and her husband, maybe she would have been able to live and fight a little bit more.
yeah,
But I was telling y'all that's one of the reasons why I always approach my work the way that I do, because we don't know what people are dealing with when we come knocking at their doors.
right,
And no matter what side of the fence that I am working from, my approach is always, I don't know what's going on behind that door, because what's really going on oftentimes is what we saw on that documentary. That
yeah,
is why I say things like, I don't like to do work around holidays, no
mm,
matter what the holiday is,
yeah,
Valentine's Day, 4th of July, whatever, because people carry stuff and deal with stuff that you have no idea is going on.
yeah,
But let's talk about that case really quickly, though. For them not to charge that man who shot, I think his name was William, was it Ford or William
Ford,
Ford?
Ford,
Ford. And for them to say that the shooter acted in self-defense from something that happened the day before or the week before or a month before,
yeah, yeah,
come on now.
yeah,
And it was just
No way.
an argument too, wasn't it? It was just an argument.
It was just an argument, but the prosecutor and the detectives were saying that they didn't want to charge the shooter because he had previous encounters with Ford. And it immediately went to my thoughts of, I have cases all the time. Let's just say like battered women, clients who are doing 20, 30, 40 years because they were abused. And they don't get to always say, well, he beat me a month ago, so that's why
right,
I reacted to, you know what I'm saying? So I
right,
was like, what? You don't get to, you
yeah,
can't say self-defense. I did this to this person today
hmm,
from something that they necessarily did to me a month ago.
yeah. And I mean, it's just like it's 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 hard too, because what he did, he went there and he picked up what, a he threw a vacuum. Is that what he did?
It was something about a vacuum and a car door.
Then he picked up a car door, and I mean, eh, a car door ain't light, and I'm not making excuses. Picking up a car door and throwing it on the floor does not equal shoot me. Uh,
No.
but at the same time, you don't, just like you said, when you go to approach somebody's home, you don't know what you're approaching.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know this man who shot him, you don't know what you're approaching. You don't know if maybe he was assaulted once upon a time by somebody who looked like you. Maybe once upon a time he'd been watching too many movies. It's not an excuse. But
Mm-mm.
in that mindset, you never know who you're approaching. That's why I'm like, oh,
Well,
none of the smoke.
well, the forensic evidence shows that although all those things that you're saying probably did happen, what the forensic science shows that there was no evidence for having gunpowder or anything
Right.
on his body. So what that meant was they were not close to one another in proximity. So if
Right.
if I shoot you and there is no gunpowder, no nothing from that blast, no fragments or anything on your body from when I shot you, what that really means is that you really ain't in danger because you're not even close to me at the time that I shot you.
Yeah. And so I was thinking, there was points when I did want a little bit more detail, I guess, so to
Mhm.
speak, as to the events that led up to it. Like, I don't know, the young man who was actually there and was talking about it. So
Mhm.
the incident where he got mad because they were taking too long with the mom's car or something, or
Mhm.
and he did that was a day before or a week before. It wasn't the same day.
Right.
But then he came back, I guess, to check on the car again.
Mhm.
And something happened where he recognized the guy that walked out as someone who had disrespected his mom.
Mhm.
And then I guess that was outside of the garage. And then he went to go walk into the garage following the guy. And so if I'm the guy and I know that I did your mom dirty, and I know, again, I'm not saying this is right, but who knows what that guy is running to go do? You know what I mean? And that to me shows, what is it called? Premeditated.
Mhm.
So then why wouldn't he be locked up? So he saw this guy and this guy started to follow him, right? So he immediately went inside to get a gun. That becomes premeditated, right?
Yes, because the law is that you can premeditate something within seconds.
Right,
Premeditation, right? What people don't understand is that you premeditation does not mean I sat and I wrote down a
right.
plan and step by step.
It's a
You can premeditate something in seconds,
right.
in seconds.
So
And that is why that forensic information about Ford not having any gun fragments, any gunpowder, any of that stuff on him, which means he was not even close to you. No matter, because I
right.
mean, he's way over there.
That's what I'm saying. So this
Hmm.
guy didn't even get charged with anything, but
No.
you can consider this premeditated murder because the guy, what he did, the angry stuff, was last week or the day before. So that was before. That wasn't even in that moment when you're like, oh snap, he's like throwing stuff. Let me go get my gun. I don't know what he's gonna do. He started walking. This guy doesn't even know if he was gonna follow him in there. By the time he got there, the guy's already in there with the gun turned ready to fire.
Mhm.
So that to me says intent to shoot without any justification.
Right. And this was a situation where this case went to the grand jury. This wasn't a
Uh,
matter of a prosecutor making decisions on of whether or not the state wanted to press charges. And the thing with that is The grand jury came back, no charges were pressed, but then you have to question, why did the grand jury come up with that? How was the information presented to the grand jury for the grand jury to say, nah, we ain't got nothing here, we finna send this man home?
Well, see, in the beginning, it started with, was it Yancey making those phone calls?
Yes, yes, called the prosecutor,
Yes.
yes.
So Yance called the prosecutor, but do, you don't have any rights to any of the court documents or the court information of what happens to your own family, like after the fact, like the case is already closed, like you don't have access to any of that.
You know what Yance asked the prosecutor to talk to them, and the prosecutor declined to do so. And that's within the prosecutor's right to do. So Yance didn't say, well, while I have you on the phone, send me your file. Because remember, at one point, Yance was on the phone with the detective, and the detective said, let
Yeah,
me see if I can find my files and send some stuff over. The
yeah.
prosecutor, Yance only asked the prosecutor to talk to them, and the prosecutor declined to do so.
And why do you think that was?
For a whole bunch of reasons. It may have been confidentiality. It may have been a matter of legality, because I ain't finna tell you nothing. Because if I tell you something, whatever I say to you, I don't know your family's attention. So next month, next year, we may be getting a letter of intent and a summons to sue from your attorney. So it could be a matter of just, I'm not talking about that, but it could be a whole bunch of reasons. And they're not obligated to do so. If somebody called me right now, if one of my clients' wives, mothers, call me and ask me about the case, I might tell them I'm not talking to you about that. That's my right to do so.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mainly because you're not my client and I don't have to
but
talk to you about nothing.
it's true, but like not even like, I guess like not wanting to answer is an answer. So she didn't even listen to what, Yance might have wanted to even ask.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, the prosecutor did ask. She asked, what do you want to talk about? And Yance told the prosecutor what they wanted to talk about. And then the prosecutor said, oh, okay, well, I'm not talking about that.
It's just sad. And
Hmm.
like, then I'm just like, as you're watching and you're like, how could things get worse? Then you hear that silence go, and then you hear that respirator. And you're like, no,
Because it
no.
came out of nowhere. Because
Yeah.
mom was sitting in that chair
Yeah.
so proud and dignified, talking about how, how her family, how she moved from the South, and how education had propelled her life, and purchase of her home, and all of these good things, and how they raised their children. And then just out of nowhere, it's mom in the hospital bed. Like,
And I
where did that even come from?
let's already talk about how, these parents struggled, as, typically it is for Black people in America coming up in that day and time when her parents were coming up and sacrificed and struggled to make things better for their kids, only for this to happen to their son. Then, in turn, for the dad to have what happened to him. Then, in turn, for a very typical of Black families to mask and internalize what happened to their brother, their son, you know, their child, not talk about it, not properly grieve, and hold on to so much pain. And you could see how the pain is held by the way the interviews are done, only for you to sit there and watch this woman just, and I don't want to say it's always the women that suffer the most, but to watch a mom lose her son, lose her husband, lose her children, and then decline on her own. And then that moment when Yance was talking about how mom only wanted to sit up, how it was thought that the mom wanted to sit up, but all mom wanted was a hug. And for a kid I don't care how old you are.
Mhm.
I know that sits so deep,
Mhm.
that moment
Mhm. Yeah,
of
because
just
Yance probably is just like in their mind, I just want to take care of mom.
right.
Because mom has been through so much. I just want to be here for mom. I want like that caregiver
Yep.
kicked
That
in.
caregiver, that moment
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
stuck with me because I've done that myself, not
Mm-hmm.
understanding what my mom was wanting, thinking that I was doing the right thing when she wanted something else. And the guilt and the torment that you have that you put yourself through, going, why didn't I know that? Why couldn't I have known that in that minute? But you cannot do that. And
Mm-hmm.
simply being there is enough. You can't always get it right, but the sentiment of wanting to make mom comfortable was enough. Even
Yes.
all mom wanted was a hug. But that was
And
hard to watch.
oh, and then when Yance was talking about all of reader, I guess from Ford's diary about his struggles to become the corrections officer and all the hard work he was putting into, and he had got rejected the first time and then he worked to make weight, and then 6 weeks after his death they received a letter that he had been accepted. Like it is
Mm. That's the other thing for Suitland that reminded me of Suitland. When the call came in for what was it, Juanita, to get the postal service
the
job
post up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
after she had already been gone. And it's just,
Yeah.
you know, and not only that, like Ford was a good guy, looked after his siblings, looked after
Mm-hmm.
parents. Not only that, looked after strangers. The guy that did the interview about how Ford and his friend literally, the man was shot and Ford risked his own life to try and make sure that this man was okay after a man
Mm-hmm.
the subway trying to find help and get help. And
Yeah.
Ford and his friend were like right then and there in a flash, like superheroes trying to help this man. Didn't matter what the color of the man's skin was, didn't matter it was a male, female, whatever. It was another human being in trouble. And Ford was like, let me help. How can I
And
help?
then I think they even talked about another instance where they were in a bar or something, and like Ford disarmed someone. Someone was approaching a friend or someone else, another bar patron, with a knife, and it was just like,
Like, you just like it makes you sometimes really sit and think like truly not understanding someone's lot in life. And I always say it's always the best of us. Um, that there's no rhyme or reason for anything ever. And I can't lie, when I was watching out, like I started thinking of the Kennedys and just the tragedy of over and over. Like you just can't get away from such tragedy. Some families, I don't want to say curses, but just sometimes things just latch on the families until there's just nothing but rubble left. Like,
well, I don't want to get all political, but a whole bunch of folks will not want to compare these
no,
folks to the
no,
Kennedys
not comparing them.
because
I'm talking about
because
even like,
because some people will tell you the Kennedys, you kind of
yeah, I know, but I mean, look at just tragedies. Like, yeah, some people cause their own tragedies,
mm-hmm,
like the
mm-hmm.
Lees, like Bruce Lee and his son. Like, you look at these things and just be like, what in the world? Because I'm sorry, but there are some evil people who be out here just living it up. Okay, don't nothing to
Mm-hmm.
them. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
get the highest spots in the land. Nothing to, you know. I
Well,
mean,
these folks were just everyday, regular, degular people trying to live, trying to improve themselves, trying to, get do the best that they
bro,
can. They were
my
educators.
why could
Um,
this have been in peace? Why
mhm.
did this kind of tragedy just over and over and over and over again have to happen to such a good family?
Mhm.
It was not to compare cases or anything, but I think Suffolk County, where they were located, has had a long problem with corruption in their police force.
because
Not only during the time of this case, but also like the Gilgo Beach murders that took place took so long for them to solve that also because they were all call girls and prostitutes and they just didn't give them the time of day.
but with that too, you also get that scrambled egg of police involvement. Because if you remember, Ford threatened this chop shop. They were doing dirty at this
Mm-hmm.
shop where the mom took the car to get, fixed. And he threatened and said, once I make it through all of my training and I pass, my tests, I'm going to make sure I shut you guys down. And that was the moment that I said, this murder was intentional. This was on purpose. And this was like, let me get this small fry before he thinks he gets a little power to shut us down.
Mm-hmm. Back to your idea of premeditation.
Mhm.
Because really, if we look at it, the person who killed Ford had more motive to harm him than he had to harm them. So, yeah, okay, you said what you said to my mom, but that's not as strong
That would
a
have been,
motive as,
that was most likely
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, but you're talking about shutting me down and all this other stuff. Now, wait a minute.
Mm,
Now my motive to do away with you is a strong one.
mm,
And now you in here clowning, now you in here talking your talk or throwing almost cussing, throwing mess around. Now I have my moment. Now let me seize on this.
yeah.
And let's not forget the whole race element. Like I remember at the top of the documentary where they live was a red lined
Mhm.
community. So it's all of those things
Yeah.
included in this. Mm-hmm.
It's all of the issues.
Because I promise you, on everything that I know and love on a personal level and also on a professional level, had that man who shot Ford was black, he would be in prison.
Yes, he would.
He would be in prison. I have clients right now who are either in prison or have a current case, and they were charged criminally because they defended themselves in their own homes on their own property.
Yeah.
So nah, that
Yeah. This one is definitely,
yeah.
it's definitely worth watching. I mean, we really
Mm-hmm.
give anything away. They say everything that we've been talking about right in the teaser. So it's just a
Yeah.
journey of going through a journey with this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, I highly recommend you check it out. It's called
Yeah.
Strong on Netflix. I don't know how long it'll be on there, but definitely if you have a moment, take a look at it. It was definitely beautifully done, and I see why it was nominated.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And after you watch that, please watch our newest case.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean that's where the suggestion came from in the first place,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely try if you're new, and you don't really know what we're about. We drop a case overview twice a month. And then we do a deep dive after that case overview twice a month. So you can totally go back, go to our website, check out here on YouTube, check out, we have 5 episodes out for review. You could watch the case overview and then you can go take a look at our deep dive where we break down all of the information, what we thought, what we didn't think, who did it, who didn't do it, and just, our opinions and just kind of, going down that rabbit hole. And a lot of times you on the deep dive might see myself or Craig go, because
all the time.
expert has dug up something we didn't know about, which is the exact reason why we are so thankful to have her. Because where we can't find certain things and we have questions, we totally look to our expert for these things. So definitely, if you liked tonight's live, definitely like, subscribe to our YouTube. We appreciate everyone who has subscribed so far, and we just have lots of things we want to do. We want to keep doing this. We want to, make sure that we do reach people and we have a conversation. The other big thing is that we do want our audience to engage. So if you have questions, you have comments, Jess has been like raring to go with somebody to disagree with her.
I was gonna say, and even if you don't like tonight's live, still hit our channel, because there's going to be something there that you do like, because we absolutely have something for everyone. And then back to, if you don't like it, tell us what you don't like. I want to engage. I want to talk. I want to hear what your perspective is, and we're open to that. That's what this whole format is about.
We definitely don't have to agree to agree. We can agree to disagree, but still have open conversation. I don't have to be green. You don't have to be red. I don't have to be. We just do whatever you want to talk. Whatever your opinions, whatever your thoughts. Maybe you don't agree with how, the Suitland murders went down. Maybe you don't agree with what happened with Tara Calico. Maybe our theories were off the mark and you're like, oh, you missed something. Let us know. Let's talk about it. We'll even have you on. We'll have you on a episode. We can talk it out. So hit us up, email us, follow us on Substack, our YouTube. We're on everything. We're on Apple Music, Spotify. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You name it. We're there.
Google us. You'll find us.
Oh. You say Jinx.
No, that's the whole song. Y'all don't remember that Tiana Taylor song? Google me, baby. Y'all don't remember that song?
Yeah, so it's always good times on Wednesdays. It's always good times. I'm always like, let's go live, just get in and get out.
And then we be on here for 2 hours almost. Craig, push the button. Let's say goodnight so we can get out of here.
Thank you everybody for joining us. See you Sunday.
Bye everybody.
And have a great week.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.